Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sallie, joined by my co-host, Katie. We're identical twin sisters. We invite you to join us as we investigate our similarities and differences in all things life has to offer. Hey everyone, it's Sallie. Before we get started on today's episode, I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. This episode contains sexually explicit content. We discuss consensual romances in the workplace, not to be confused with non-consensual misconduct or abuse of power. We also talk about body count, referring to how many people one has had sex with, and some harm men pick up in particular from watching porn. We get spicy, so if you're ready for it, enjoy. Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sallie.
And I'm your other host, Katie.
She forgot about her mic.
My bad.
Well, welcome in, everybody. We are so happy to be here this Monday, and we have some fun topics to talk about. Katie wanted something that could get a little spicy, so I am getting a little spicy.
Okay, study.
And you know what? It might not end up being one, but it has the potential to be
It has
one.
the potential, so, close your children's ears.
Or just listen to this on your headphones.
Okay.
Did you say bedtime?
No, I just kicked my camera. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Sorry.
So I know a lot of people have their awesome, beautiful stories of how they fall in love. And one that is dear to my heart is my own love story that took place at first in the workplace. So that's where we're going to start our twin study today. Dating in the workplace. Yay or nay? How do you feel about it? Because I know that HR feels a certain way.
Well, I really think that in the past I was very against it.
Okay. Do you want to say why you were against it?
Because there's just too much that could happen. In my fear-based mind, it could go wrong. I saw when I first started working a lot of people when I was young dating within the workplace, and I saw the aftermath of those breakups. And so I always told myself I will never date within the workplace. It's not for me, because it's not. I don't know.
Okay, so I think the reason you were against it, and that I may be wrong in saying this, was because you were always really career driven and you didn't want anything to stand in the way of your career.
I would, and also probably competitive. I couldn't date somebody I was working with because I'd probably be competing against them.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've said over and over again, I never had a career I was desperately dying to be the best at, or even really it was never my priority. So for me, dating in the workplace, especially in hospitality, I don't know why they make such a big deal of it, because honestly, everyone's doing it, and it's makes it even sexier when they put the rule you can't date in the workplace. Yeah. I know, because then you're we have our little secret, and they're you need to come to HR, both of you, and tell us if you're dating. Which honestly, why? I don't
I do think. It depends. It really depends, because if it's somebody who's senior to you or somebody.
I think that's why they have the rule.
That's a iffy situation.
Okay, so I think that's why they have the rule, because they don't want young people to be taken advantage of by older people.
Yeah.
Or they also don't want, this old guy or woman, sleeping around with everybody and then it getting back to HR, right? He's an authority figure. Sorry, excuse me, I just burped.
You're such a mess.
I'm a mess, always. But I have dated in the workplace at least 2 or 3 times.
Oh my God. Every time she had a job.
Every time. No, but I honestly, God. And I just think it's such a thrill.
So when your relationships ended, you left the company though, right?
Okay, so one we left the company at the same time. One we actually moved to different hotels during our relationship.
Okay,
so we started our relationship together and then moved on to separate places.
Okay.
And then the last one, was Adam. We ended up getting married, and we ended up moving on as well. Like, we
I
didn't
was
stay in the
I
company.
was gonna say I know so many married couples where I work and they work together regularly, and I look at them as like a power couple. Like, I look up to these people. So I've seen it successfully work out a lot.
I just don't know when they're like giving you the speech when you're like onboarding at a company, and they're like, don't fall in love in the workplace, or if you're dating someone you need to tell HR, but then you see that their wife is like standing next to them giving the HR speech, and you're like, so you guys didn't meet at work? Like obviously you did. Like, come on.
I think that the thing is, like, where else are you supposed to meet somebody? Like, especially once you're in your 30s or older, you know? You're not going out to the bars. I'm not going to church. Like, I don't know where to meet somebody.
That little old widow there, Katie. Pray for her.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, I don't think you'd be allowed in some churches because you are divorced.
I always say,
I'm kidding.
per organized religion and Christianity, I'm going to hell, like, on many fronts.
So anyway, I am pro dating in the workplace. I think that obviously, like, when I did it, okay, so I think that it can be really toxic, because I will say that I've been attracted.
You just said you're pro, but then you're like,
so,
but it can be toxic.
I'm going to tell you both sides, because I think it can be toxic, because I think, especially when you're lower on the totem pole and there's this guy who's in charge or woman that's in charge.
Oh, yeah, you've dated a superior.
Technically, too.
Yeah, so
that's the thing. When you're like this young kid and then there's somebody that's older and they're like in charge, you're just like, oh my God, I love them. They are so cute and good looking and smart and successful. And then like now you're their age and you're like, holy crap, what was I seeing? But
or like, why did they want to date me?
Yes, exactly. And maybe that's the HR aspect of it, because I'm sure I wasn't the only girl thinking like that. It's like you're making
no money. You don't have. You're living in a shoebox, but I like thought they were so successful. But you were pretty, and it's like, I guess,
me.
No, yeah, it's like, what do they?
Oh my God,
I'm just kidding. Like, but not really.
No,
but
I actually wasn't a catch back then, because
realistically, like, these men like younger women.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
And there wasn't really much. It's true. I wasn't really like, I didn't have many things going for me back then. Besides the fact I was like 10 years younger.
You were fit.
I was fit. I didn't have that baby bump.
When you got in arguments, you could run 3 miles home.
Yeah, I know. I'd go out every night and get wasted and run away from you. But no, I think it can be sexy to date in the workplace. And I think that the level of seriousness around it, like, is there because clearly it needs to be there. You know, like, young girls or young boys get taken advantage of or whatever. So that's what I think they're trying to protect. Obviously, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. So my current partner, I met in the workplace, but I go back to...
Are you pro workplace relationships?
I just understand them. I know so many people, like I said, that are married. I feel like most of my company, it's like everybody's partner works for the same company, and it's nice to have somebody who just understands.
I think that with your company and hospitality in general, it seems so like incestuous. Like, everybody hooks up with everybody. Everybody knows everybody. It's like when you get out of it, you kind of learn, oh, that's not how every workplace is.
I don't know, though, because...
No, not every workplace is like that.
Yeah. I definitely feel like if you're single and you, I don't know, work in specific industries, you just have a way of connecting with the other single people. And I also think, though, I do want to defend it a little bit, because I have, and everybody should, but I really, really need to respect my partner for us to have a good relationship. And the people I respect a lot of times are the people I work with.
Yeah.
So, like, it's kind of just easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I always liked, like, people that worked hard and I felt like they looked successful to a degree. Mm-hmm. I met my husband in the workplace, and again, we are the same age, but he technically held a higher title than me. And I know that's like part of the reason I was drawn to him was like his work ethic. And I just thought it was so sexy to have like a little secret. And I was so sad when people found out because part of it, the fun was like showing up to work and be like, nobody knows, but we know, kind of thing. Like, it was so fun.
I don't think I was always like, I don't think this needs to be a secret with my partner. And then once it became like a real thing, like it wasn't us just hanging out anymore, then I was like, okay, we need to like be more mindful of like what we're exposing at work, like what we're talking about and like how we're interacting together. And then I got like, it's time to be professional. But in the beginning, I was like, who cares? Like, we're two single people that are the same age. Of course we're hanging out.
Yeah.
But what do you think about, this is a different thing that I actually do
are you
feel
coming to me with a debate?
So what? In contrast, I know people that have like work wives or work husbands.
Oh, this is a good question.
Yeah. So, and I hear it all the time, like, oh, that's my work husband, but they have a husband at home, or that's my work wife, but they have a wife at home.
Yeah.
So the other side of it is like, if your partner doesn't work with you, do you confide in somebody of the opposite gender at your workplace?
Okay, so if
Or you go to lunch with them, or
Okay, so I get it because it's basically a way of being like, you're my best friend at work, or you're like super important to me at work, I need you type thing. If Adam came home and referred to one of his female colleagues as his work wife, I'd say, you better be working your ass all the way home and getting a new job. I would like not be okay with it. I'm so jealous. I'd be like, work wife? Do you know who's been working all day here with our children?
Yeah.
Your real work wife.
Yeah, the wife that you actually have.
Yeah, we're working right here with our 4 kids.
It's weird because like,
See, that's my crazy. I get crazy.
Like when you work with somebody, and from my standpoint, when you work with somebody all the time and you're together all the time, at least for me, I spend more hours at work than I do at home. So like, you build these relationships with these people, and I've seen it. I have not experienced it because I did come from a very, very jealous relationship on both sides where we had big boundaries
for
about,
good reason.
For good reason, but we had big boundaries about this kind of stuff. And I think if I were to say one positive about my old relationship is that I did not socialize with other men outside or like in work even. Like I wouldn't go to lunch with another guy or anything like that. But one of my coworkers, she has what she would refer to as work husband, and this man is sexy as fuck.
Oh,
he is so good looking.
Well, if you're gonna have a work husband,
I know, and
pick a sexy one.
I'm like, but like, how do you draw the line? Like, he's so hot. I don't know how you,
because like I feel like if they weren't sexy,
but he's married and she's married. Is that playing with fire?
Do they say they're each other's work wife and husband?
I think I don't know if she's addressed it, but other people have been like, that's her work husband or that's his work wife. Other people talk about it.
I would wonder though if there's feelings on one side or the other, because I've definitely been like my first teaching job. I was dating and living with somebody that I was pretty serious with. Yeah, I mean at the time we were young. Yeah. But I went to work and there was a male also teacher who was next door to me, and we were probably like work wife, husband and wife. Like we were always doing things together, like teaching together, like honestly obsessed with each other. And I think everybody else saw like, okay, he's definitely in love with you. Yeah. I think I even knew it down deep. I just liked having his company, and I don't think it was healthy for anyone.
But you were able to be friends?
No, eventually he got drunk one night and pounded on my door and wanted
Shut up.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh my God.
And I honestly don't remember a whole lot, but I know that the neighbors complained because it was just like a big blow up.
Oh my God.
And it was like after probably like 4 years where he maybe thought I was leading him on, but I truly was like, we're friends.
I just want us to get to a place where women can be kind and nice to guys because they genuinely view them as friends, especially when you're working together, when you're actually having to do a task together so you have a bond.
Yeah.
And them not interpret it as this is something more.
I will say, like, I did confide in him a lot. Like, we really were close.
Yeah.
Like, we were, like, wife and husbands. But, like, it was never going to be anything for me. But I do think it was probably something for him. And I think people perceived it as, like, oh, they're a thing kind of thing.
Totally,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So when people say work wife, husband, and wife, to me, I don't know. I don't know. I know I couldn't do it. I know somebody was saying that about Adam. Like, if I went to his work party that they have once a year where I'm supposed to be meeting everyone and he introduces me to his work wife, oh man, we'd fight all night. I would be like so
upset.
offended. I'd be like, what?
But
maybe is it just the title that bugs me?
I think it's the title because sometimes when other women are into my partner, I think that's kind of sexy. Really? Like, I'm like, oh yeah, he is a catch.
I don't really want that.
Really?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm not asking for this by any means.
Yeah,
but
no,
like,
I
I
don't.
do think it's like, yeah, he's mine. I know.
Every time another woman has been into my partner's cheated on me. So I don't want anyone into.
So nobody look
yeah.
at him.
No, your ring is staying on. You're not having work wives. I get how you say that's sexy, but that's not sexy to me.
I do think that dating outside of the workplace is complete and utter misery. So
What?
Because you're using apps at this point.
Oh, because you're online
You've
dating.
not experienced
This is
dating in the real world.
Well,
Because luckily you've met all your 3 last partners in work.
true.
But
Well, actually, though, I missed the age of TikTok or Tinder.
Tinder.
I missed
okay.
it. I was always in a
So-
relationship, so I never got to swipe left or right. I never got to online date. And when Katie first got divorced, I would honestly go on her apps and be like, Katie,
This
can I
is
do
so
it?
fun.
Like, I'd be like, oh my God, this is so fun.
Yeah.
And even my husband will say a story. We were friends before we dated, and he had a Tinder, and I'd go on it and I'd swipe for him because I'd be like, oh, she's cute. Oh, she's not. He'll say that I swiped left on everyone, and I didn't. I definitely didn't. There were some cute girls. But
I don't even know what that means, to be honest. Isn't left?
I thought left was no, right's yes.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
That's so weird.
You
but
know what? I don't know.
I didn't really. So there.
I thought it was fun.
I, out of utter desperation, used the dating apps because when I broke up with somebody, I was so depressed that I was like, I just need to get back out there. Like, it's time. Like, you need to cheer yourself up.
Well, like you said,
go.
when you work all day, how else do you meet people?
Yeah, exactly. So, and like, there's different apps too. Like, I think that. Anyways, it doesn't matter. We don't need to
Which
get
one
into
was the
apps.
best one for you?
I mean, well, the League, if you can get into it, I think was better because it has parameters of like how you can join. Like, this sounds terrible, but you have to make you enter the amount of money you make, you enter your career. It's more about career like focused, and I've always wanted somebody who had an ambition. Like, that really matters to me. I really need somebody who's ambitious. So I mean, I've also dated a lot of narcissists, so like I think they go hand in hand. But all of them
the legal part is just that people make more money.
You have to apply. Like, you have to
Okay.
apply and get accepted, whatever. And I wouldn't even say it's the best one, because I actually think the best one is probably Bumble, because it has that whole women need to contact you first element of it. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you, but all of them are terrible. All of them are so bad that I would not actually.
But people meet their wives and husbands. on
People
it.
meet their partner. I understand that, and I think that's cool.
How do you
But
understand that?
Because you have to treat it like a business. Like, and I remember receiving this advice when I was on them, but it was like, basically say yes to as many people as possible, because you just want to keep that door open so you can find the one. You can't be picky when you're looking at the picture, or like their little bio and all that shit. You have to just go on the first date and meet them in person as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And then run through them like you are on a mission. Like, this is a business.
Yeah.
And the people that do that find the person that they're looking for.
Did you ever get catfished when you were doing that?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I have this.
Wait, is this like catfish? Like, they edited their photos and they didn't look.
They sent like edited photos, and I'm very attuned to like what edited photos look like, because
Okay.
I'm a fucking artist.
Okay.
But
okay, first of all, is this like a catfish? Like, he showed up and didn't look how he was supposed to look?
No. We were just talking. But sometimes, and that's why you don't chat to. I also got this advice later into my dating app life, where it was like, don't have conversations on the app or text. Like, make them meet you, because you might waste an entire day texting somebody, and then it turns out to be a flop. So like, we were texting all day, and then he sent me a photo that was a risky one. I didn't ask
A spicy twin study?
A spicy photo. I didn't ask for it, by the way. This
Oh,
is
God.
just what men love to do.
Why do guys
Why do they do this?
Why do they think we want a picture of their dicks?
But it was clearly edited.
How?
Like, it was just like a stock photo. Like, I literally could put it in Google search and you could find the same one.
There's what?
Yeah.
How could you tell?
Because how it was cropped looked really sketchy. And so then I was like, that was a waste of my
question.
time.
How did this even come up? if you're texting, why does it even
It doesn't come up because it's like you're texting all day, and then it's like, I mean, I guess we probably were talking about like, what are you up to? And it was probably like, oh, I'm getting ready for bed. And then like, you just get it. Like, it's like, you don't ask for it. They just send it. Guys,
Okay.
I can't stress the terrible stories I have in the dating world off of the apps are horrendous. Like, I went on a date with somebody, and first off,
Can I clear this up real
okay.
quick? For any men study buddies listening out there, girls do not, I repeat, do not want a picture of your dick.
We do not.
No, like, I think that you think, oh, I'd love a sexy picture from you, so you'd love this from me.
Yeah.
I don't even want that picture from my fucking husband. I don't want that picture. It doesn't do what it does for you,
anything.
for us.
I can't name the number of times I've been like sexting somebody.
Look, a thumbs up just came up.
And also doing the dishes and running the laundry and mowing the lawn or whatever. Like, I'm not.
If anything, you're gonna send me that picture and I'm gonna be turned off.
I remember I used to get like texts, like stories of like this guy trying to explain what he's doing to me, like sexting, and I'd be like, oh yeah, and whatever, and then I'd go back to doing the dishes.
Okay, so I just want to say that though, because I don't know why guys continuously do this. I hear it from so many women where they're like, oh yeah, they sent me a dick pic. We don't care. We don't want it. We don't care. Like, honestly, fucking, like, save that for yourself. We're the beauty. Like, we're the curves.
Women
we're
are
the beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah, our bodies are beautiful.
Yeah.
Your bodies, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I'm straight as hell, but I don't want a picture of your dick.
Yeah, it's like we know, like
I don't care. I don't want it. What am I going to do with this?
yeah. Totally.
So, okay, I want
Although
to make
I
that
would
clear.
say that if you do want to turn on a woman, like, talk to her. Like, tell her things okay, anyways, we can get into this though, but I do think women need to hear more about like what a man is going to.
Like, men are more visual.
And women
are like, honey, you need to back that shit up.
yeah, tell me
Yeah.
like how you're going to treat me, what you're going to do
Like,
with me.
seeing that makes me feel like you just, like, what am I supposed
Like,
to do?
I'm not, yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like, what?
Anyways, so anyways, back
stories.
into the dating.
Dating
on
online.
the apps, don't advise. But I know some
Yeah.
people, like, that's where you're at, and I was there too. But I had such terrible experiences, and I just want to share one story because I think a lot of women and men can relate, is I would go on these dates because I'm like, I'm open-minded to anybody at this point. Like, I just know I'm trying to heal a broken heart, but I'm also trying to meet new people. And I'd go on these dates, and then after the date, I'd be like, oh, I don't think we're compatible, or I just don't see it with us, or whatever. I tried to be as honest as possible from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So you're not wasting their time and they're not wasting your time. And I feel like that's a respectful thing to do. But like, guys would flip the fuck out on me. Like, if I said I just don't see it with us, I'd get like paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of text about how terrible of a shitty person I am, and like, just like, you're such a fucking bitch, blah blah blah. The egos and like the sensitivity men had to being, and it's not even rejection. It's like, we met once and I just don't see it, and then they attack you for it. Whew. Yeah, it's rough, guys. It's rough out there. Be careful. Meet somebody at work.
I know. I honestly, both are like terrible options, but if you had to pick one, obviously, like, go for the one in person, I guess.
Yeah, the one that you know is capable of doing a job and having a conversation.
I will say, though, I know some people that met online and did get married, so I know it does work.
No, I know too. I know, but like,
yeah, I know it does work. But yeah, you have crazy stories. And honestly, like, I have seen some of the texts that she gets sent just for saying, like, hey, like, it was an honor, like, meeting you, but it's not gonna work out.
It was an honor.
Whatever you say.
This is like,
whatever you say.
Like, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
men go fucking psycho. So it's just, I mean, honestly.
And women probably do too, but this is like from our perspective.
Yeah, from our perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, I really think the apps are like more about hooking up. That's what I feel. I feel like they're
it
more about
totally
like
is
finding someone to hook up with.
culture now, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got catfished by somebody that was not him?
Well, it wasn't his dick.
Oh.
Because it was a stock photo.
But was the other pictures of him?
No, I highly doubt it, Sally.
God.
Like, he's not sending.
So, did you ever get told when you went on a date that you were catfishing them because you edited your photos?
No, you know what? What is actually humbling and also like, is this a diss or is this not? They're like, actually, you look exactly like your photos.
Oh. Yeah. No, I think that's good. I thought you were going to say they were going to say you look better than your photos, and I'd be like, wait,
no,
what?
They always say you look exactly like your photos.
Okay. Yeah. Like, we both try not to edit.
I don't really, and like the thing is, like, because I feel like I'm more curvy, I want the guy who's dating me to like curvy girls. Like, I don't want to be false advertising.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be like such a nightmare to think like, oh my God, I edited my photos. Now I'm going to go meet up with him. What is he going to think? Like, do I look the same? That would be so nerve-wracking.
I became friends with a guy I met on a dating app, and he would tell me his stories that he would have with meeting girls that he met on the dating app.
Yeah.
And he said that all the time. He said he rarely meets up with a girl that looks like her photos, and a lot of times they're a lot heavier than they were in their photos, or their makeup is like caked on, and like you can't tell that in a photo.
Yeah.
But he experienced it almost every time.
I mean,
So that must be scary. That must be tough for guys.
I truly do believe that.
But like guys catfish by saying, not catfish, but they lie by saying they're 6'2" and they're 5'8".
100%. Yes. I was going to say how many guys you thought would be taller than you and they ended up being like the same height.
Height is the biggest factor where I show up and I'm like, oh, they're much shorter than I imagined. Not that it matters. I don't care. Like, I would like to be able to wear a heel, but I don't care if
But you could wear a heel even if you're shorter.
I support those short kings out there.
Yeah, there's some really cute ones.
Yeah. Oh my God, for sure. But like, if you lied about it or you said you were taller, then I'm like, oh, he's insecure, and I don't like an insecure man. I need my man.
I guess
to be
is that what
secure.
men think when girls edit their photos? Like she's insecure.
Maybe, I don't know. We need a guy friend.
Yeah.
What's the rest? Because we're running out of time.
Oh, okay. So when you go on dates, so online dating, we both said no.
I said yeah. It's easier to meet at the workplace, to be honest.
Yeah. Red flags. Red flags when you first start dating someone. Ooh, I have a couple that me and Adam went over, like when we first started dating, and we were just saying like red flags when you're finding the person you're going to be in love with for the rest of your life. And some of those have changed, so it's funny to think back on.
Like what?
I don't want to go too deep in it, but when we first started dating, we both agreed that a red flag would be if our significant other didn't get along with our family.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And times change, so
you know what
I mean. Like we've grown together, but like we've both kind of separated in some regards.
I do think though,
but like at the time, it was a red flag that we both thought it was a red flag because your spouse at the time didn't not get along with our family, but like our family wasn't too fond of them.
Very critical of
him.
So
we always were like, oh my God, we're so lucky we get along with both sides of the family. But now, after, we've gone through some years of marriage and stuff, I kind of do see how I actually don't think that's a red flag. I think it could be just a new energy coming into a new situation.
This is something that I'm going to say, and I don't think we're going to agree on.
Okay.
I do think a red flag is when a man doesn't have a good relationship with his mother. And I've dated a lot of men that are estranged from their mothers. And I married one, not estranged, but like they just didn't have a good relationship. And so anyways, when I was going back into the dating world, somebody told me to do this, and I probably was like somebody on TikTok or something.
It wasn't a friend.
It was probably like a dating coach on TikTok. But they were like, ask men on the first date who they look up to. Do they have any females they look up to in their life? And you'd be surprised. A lot of men can't answer that question. But when I started dating, who I'm currently dating, he immediately named a woman that sits in our office, which I thought was cool.
Okay.
And then he said his mom and his sister. And
But isn't that just because they can't think of anybody else?
no, but like he also said somebody he works with, like who he admires in the workplace.
No, I know.
But
I know who you're dating as a stand-up guy. But if I was on a date with a guy and he just said his mom and his sister, I'd be like, do you not know any other influential women?
But there's so many men that can't say anybody, and there's so many men that like they don't really respect women. Like they like.
I get it. They
having
should be
women
able
around.
to like. They should be able to name somebody.
Yeah,
for sure.
And they also, I think a lot of men are attracted to women, but I don't think a lot of men actually like women. Like if they had to sit and have conversation with them all day, it would be very difficult for them. And I hate to say that, but that's my experience.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, do you think that body count is a red flag? Like if somebody had a
Well, can I respond to your last thing?
Oh yeah,
first?
absolutely.
So, have to look up to their moms? Is that what you said?
No, like respect, like who you look up to, or who do you, if you have an idol that's a woman or a man.
I think you need to have someone who's a woman that you respect or look up to. I don't think it needs to be your mom.
Like, I just have so many
a problem
men
with
I
that.
look up to.
I have a problem with that, like obey the elders,
Yeah.
respect type thing. So no, I think that if you're dating someone and he can't name one fucking woman he looks up to, that's a red flag. But if he can't look up to his mom, like some people have traumatic childhoods.
Yeah.
Like
That's why I knew
some people are blessed with that.
disagree on that.
Yeah.
But like in my experience, like the men I've dated
No,
that
you
don't
just
have
always dated somebody who didn't have a relationship with their mother, and now your current partner has one.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing. And
Totally.
I think like if they do have a good relationship with their mother, that's a green flag. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Okay, so it doesn't have to be a red flag if they
yeah.
don't.
No,
but
I think it's a green flag
yeah.
if they have a good
Yeah.
relationship with their mom, because you want that.
Totally,
You know,
yeah.
like that's a green flag.
Yeah.
So I think that's a better way of saying that.
That's true. That's good. Point.
Okay, so body count.
Have you ever heard a man's body count and like, or do you even have to know? I guess that's another question. When you date somebody, do you have to know their body count?
No.
I feel like I always am curious though.
I feel like it always comes up in conversation when you first start dating someone, and it hasn't benefited me to know.
Yeah. So you do, because you get insecure if they're high, or?
No, honestly, I don't get insecure when they're high. I get insecure when they're low.
I was actually going to say similar.
Okay.
Because I just saw.
We need to explain to people, like, we're not shallow bitches. It's because that just means he's intentional with who he's sleeping with.
And
Like, you know what I mean? It's not because I'm like, he doesn't know what he's doing. To me, I'm like, oh my God, he must have loved those women. And that makes me more insecure. When there's only 3, that's like he was intentional about who he chose. When there's 100, I feel like less pressure.
I don't judge anybody on their body count. If they were in like well into the hundreds, I'd be like, you overdid it. Like, I don't think that you need to have sex with that many people.
Yeah,
but like to each their own, like you do you. But like everybody I know that's in our 30s is well into their double digits, and I'm totally cool with that. Like, that's normal. I think that's totally normal. But when a guy has only been with a couple girls, or maybe one, or below 5, I'm like,
wait, at our age, you mean though?
yeah, at our age,
if you're single,
mid-30s.
Some people like married their high school sweetheart.
I'm just saying, single at our age. If you're single and you've had the ability and availability to hook up with people,
if you're sending dick pics,
I'm like, low. I hate to say it, I'm a little judgmental of a low body count.
Wait, are you, because you think they're gonna be bad at it?
No, I think that it's just like, did you not have like game to like make it work? You're like,
see, okay, I'm
judging,
a
like-
different thing.
Okay.
I'm different. So my thing is, if a man has like a pretty low body count and he's like our age, like 35,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, this man only has sex with women he's like in love with, and to me, that feels like more pressure on me. Like, I'm one of the 5, or I'm one of the 4, or the 3.
Totally.
That means like it's serious. And when I've dated men that have been like, oh my God, their body counts are off the charts, I don't have that pressure, because I'm like, okay, this is just like part of the equation. I don't think of it as like a game thing. I think of it as honestly, they're more thoughtful about who they choose. And that's like more of like, oh my God, this is more serious than somebody who has sex with everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't look at it as a bad thing. I honestly look at it as a good thing, but it's like a reality check where you're like, oh, this is going to be serious.
I think that women are judged more harshly on their body count than men are. And I think that, like,
I mean, you judge them for not having sex with women.
I've dated guys who have a low one, and like I did feel that pressure.
Did it make a difference in how the sex was?
I think that
Tell us the truth.
it's hard to say.
What do you mean?
No, I don't think it made a difference. But it did put the pressure on.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, this is like special to them.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, I think
It didn't. I mean, I do think that there are times too when a guy has a high body count and they're like terrible in bed.
I think a lot of times that's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
Because if you can get the women like this, you don't like learn anything.
And again, is this terrible to say, but like a lot of the hot guys that I've been with are
like Adam?
no, like stereotypically hot. Like if you saw them in a bar, sorry, Adam is beautiful. But like
we love you, Adam.
Like if you were to walk in a bar and be like, that's the guy.
Adam, I think that's you.
Those guys are terrible in bed. Like they're so bad. And I honestly think it must be because like they just get laid all the time, so they never have to really try.
No, like they never. Okay, so that's another thing. Some men have a low body count because they were in relationships.
Okay,
and
yeah.
in relationships, that's where men learn to do the things that help us.
I would agree. The men that come out of a long-term relationship put in the work with their other partner and they know how to do everything.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, low body count for men is actually like sometimes a good thing because
okay, I will agree with that.
It's because they were with someone so long and they're like, oh, I know how to please a woman.
I agree.
Because they did the work.
Also, thank you to the queens out there teaching men how to do it.
Seriously.
Because
there's some quiet...
Can men not pick up like Google and just try to like research it on their own?
No, it's because porn is like throwing people off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like guys, you're not learning anything by watching porn.
Personally for me, I don't want to be choked. But I mean, like, it's happened because like men are watching porn and they think this is like what gets girls off.
The men that have the best sex probably had a long-term partner.
100.
Yeah.
100. That's why I don't think body count matters because I really think like the guys that were in long-term relationships, they did their homework. The girls were like showing up and saying, hey, you got to do this. And then they get out and then they're able to like sexually please other women, but they are more particular. So I think low body count's actually good.
Probably, yeah. Okay, so you've changed my mind. I think.
Oh,
I think
I won this debate.
I think she's converted me because now I'm like, if you're, we need to get a man on the show and ask them about the other women's body count. If they,
do women's body count? Does that matter?
We need to know.
I know that. I don't think Adam thinks it matters.
I think some men think it matters.
Like, what do you mean? Like, it gets too high and then you're just garbage?
I think some men feel that way.
What?
But that's why I don't think anybody needs to
Oh,
share.
no. Like, is that like the people that, like, want you to be a virgin when you get married?
I think it's men's insecurity.
Oh,
like,
really?
You've been with so many other men. I think it's that.
I hope you're not with anybody like that right now.
No. Okay. Oh my God. I haven't been with that many people.
I don't like that judgment. That's so rude.
But the only reason I brought it up is because I saw there's a dating coach on the TikTok.
Oh, what did they say?
Who Kristen Cavallari had on her show, her podcast.
Okay.
And so I don't know his name. I forget. I'm sorry. I'll find his name. But
no, you won't. Just go to Kristen Cavallari.
He gets a lot of questions written into him, and he responds. And he read a question where a man was like, "My girlfriend's body count is so high, I can't get over it. Is this a problem?"
Oh, ego.
And then he was like, "Yeah, it's a problem. Like, you need to get over it or get out of the relationship."
Okay.
Yeah.
I think obviously that's ego. but if a guy can't get over it, or if a girl can't get over it, then that's clearly not your relationship
Then you're just
to be in.
like it's making you have insecurities, and like you should not be feeling insecure.
Exactly. Yeah. And also I think like if your partner is constantly talking about it, or like
That's
being like,
weird.
I don't know.
Like I don't know
oh,
anybody that's done that.
Yeah.
Like that's really weird.
But like, I mean, if it's always coming out like the body count and it's an issue. But personally for me, whenever I've dated a guy who had a high body count, I've never known the exact number because I don't think they know the exact number.
Oh, that's true. Like,
and I don't honestly care.
Yeah.
Because I always think of it as like, oh, they're picking me right now. Like, we're good.
Like, who cares?
But I will say, in my experience, the men with the lower body counts are sometimes better in bed.
Yeah. I would say like longer term relationships help that.
Yeah, for sure. And like at our age, we're 35, a lot of men have had a couple long-term relationships.
Yeah.
And a couple one-night stands. You know, like that's normal.
Yeah,
You know what I
totally.
mean? So, okay, last debatable topic because we're going long.
We're going overtime, yeah.
But I just wanted to ask, how do you feel about those poor people that like meet as high school sweethearts and they only have sex with one person in their whole life?
We can't have this question at the very end.
No, I mean,
Because
just give me your feedback.
My honest opinion, I'm like, you guys should go hook up with other people.
I was thinking maybe they're the type of people that, so we live in Florida and the villages it's a retirement community.
Yeah, like your retirement is going to be dumb.
And you put like a flag on your golf cart that says like if you're single, not single, or if you're like swinging or whatever. I want to say those high school sweethearts are probably like the people with the flags like going around being like, hey, Martha,
Ready to party.
come have sex with us type thing, or like
Oh my
swinging.
God. Well, we're so sassy. I don't even know. I don't want to put that on anybody because we have friends that married like their high school or college sweethearts. And
If you married yours, would you be sad?
yes.
Yeah.
We
We wouldn't have as many funny stories.
I do think though, if you're in a long, successful relationship, you probably have done a lot of fun, like playful,
True.
like you've developed your relationship.
Kind of like we
spice
said,
it up.
is like
Yeah.
men are better if they're in a long-term
Yeah.
relationship. Like if you're with somebody since high school or college, you probably have experimented a lot.
And I think that can be really fun.
Yeah.
So there's probably like they could
True.
potentially be having like the best
Yeah, that's
relationship
true.
because they have all this exploration that they've done because they've had to keep it spicy.
I think that's true.
So
That's a good point.
I think that could be cool, but like for me, I didn't know what I liked. So like to find out what I liked, I needed to try a bunch of different flavors to know that I like mint chocolate chip. Whatever, you know, like that was a bad like comparison.
Okay,
But, like,
I'm gonna be decoding that all day.
But I'm just saying, like, if you know what you like
chocolate
already, then like you're so lucky. But like I need to try it all before I know what I like.
Oh my Lord.
Sorry, I'll try. Yeah.
I was just wanting your feedback on that because sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for them. They only got each other in life. But then at the same time, I'm like, it probably is just like you feel comfortable and you can try more things.
Yeah, totally.
But I really value our crazy stories from like our 20s.
We have some crazy stories.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the craziest stories will never be told, which is like because it'd be like
They will die with us.
they will be they're too crazy.
Because someday when we die, our kids might listen to this and they don't need to know all those things.
Oh my God, but they would probably,
they would love it. They would probably love it.
Because we like hearing when our elders tell us stories about wild things
Their wild
they did. Because then
days.
we're like, oh, like, we don't have anything to be ashamed of.
Yeah, totally. And that's what this podcast is about. So maybe that spicy study is coming soon.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to end there. We love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Please tune in on Friday for our Friday feedback. We can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hi everyone, it's Sally. We're going to leave our story there for today and pick up next week on Twin Study After Dark. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, please rate, review, and subscribe. We'll meet again next week for more Twin Studies. Bye.